What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build It video, and today I wanted to touch base on what Omega is when you unlock it, if it's something you should, consider, and what the bare minimum you're going to need to have, even if you don't want to build Omega, just for the contest of mayors alone, because you can't 100% not do it and have a successful city. That being said, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. That way you guys get notified every time I put up videos, which I do put up videos quite a bit. At least within the last couple of months, I've been recording them and uploading them, and I didn't realize that they were set to private. So now you guys are actually getting my videos daily like you should have been getting the whole time. So, all right. Somebody had asked me on my video, about Omega, and I do have a video on Omega. I honestly don't remember half the crap that I said in the video because I made it so long ago, and I didn't want to go rewatch it because I'm going to actually talk to you guys about something different. So I believe you unlock Omega at level 30 or 31. I can't remember now. However, sorry, I apologize. Okay, so when you unlock Omega, you will unlock this Neo Mall here. In this Neo Mall, you're going to see things like BU, Dozer, that type of stuff for sale. You have to purchase them with a Neo currency, Neo simoleons. These are very difficult to get. Not quite as bad as regional coins, though. So when you build Omega homes, it will provide a token on not like a speed up token, but it will provide a coin on top of the building, and it will pay you every so much that you have. Like, it'll tell you when you click on the Omega homes, it'll say for every so many hours or so many houses, you're going to get paid this much in a 24-hour period. And it will continue to stack up until it's at its maximum capacity, similar to taxes, except for they're going to be on top of your buildings. Now, if you don't want to build Omega homes, which I don't blame you, I used to have several. I used to have right here where this river is on my map, all the way down to right here, all the way over to here. Used to be set aside for Omega, and I had it there for when I would do contest of mayors. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to get tasks like the one I'm working on now, where you have to earn a certain amount of Neo simoleons. Now, the easiest way that I've found to complete these tasks, if you don't have Omega homes, is you're going to look here on your, this is your Omega storage. And right now I have 24 out of 34 space available, which is a little over half. And what'll happen is right around that capacity, you'll start to get these bubbles that pop up here, and they will offer to buy those Neo items for a certain price. Now, if it's anything over 1,000 Neo coins per item, it's considered to be a decent amount. If it's below that, then hit no and wait for it to pop up again. As you saw, I need 1,650, I believe, to complete my task. This is only 1,100. And if I sell this item, I have to open up another item and before it's going to pop up my bubble. So I'm going to hit no, and I'm going to wait for it to pop up again. And hopefully by then it gives me the amount that I need. Now, when I bulldozed my Omega, you also have to take into consideration that in order for these bubbles to pop up, you have to have something Omega for the Sims to be there to pop up. It's not going to pop up on a house or on your regular power plants. Okay, it's popping up on my drones right here and my control net. So even though I don't have Omega homes, I kept one of each. That way it would pop up. So the bare minimum that you need is you're going to want to make these canisters. You're going to have to make these canisters for COM. In order to even build this lab, you have to have a certain amount of Omega homes. So I believe it's 3 is the starting. You need a minimum of 3 Omega homes to even buy these power plants, okay? And this goes for any map. So like if I have 3 Omega homes just with 1 upgrade each, I can now purchase the power plant on any map. They are going to go up in price. They're going to go up 10,000 neomoleons every time you purchase it. So if you go here, see how it's locked? It says my requirements is 3 Omega residentials, which I don't have because I bulldozed. It wouldn't be hard to get those back though. Give me just a second here. Okay. I need 60,000 to buy another one. If I go onto my regional map, I still need 60,000. So the price sticks with you no matter which map you bought it on, and you cannot store these. So buy them wisely. I bought mine before the regional maps ever existed and back when I had that much demand. So that's why my capacity is at 500. I could bulldoze them and get half price, but it's a waste of money. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep them there in case my population goes up over time. So as you can see, if you look at the top of my screen, it says that I have 61,000 neocoins. Now, you see how my capacity is 30,000? So I bet you're wondering how I did that, okay? If I was to try to collect the coins off the top of the houses, this goes similar for the tokens. It's not going to allow me to collect them. It's going to say, no, you've exceeded your bank, your allowed amount that you've exceeded it. So, however, when you sell the items to the people that pop up, the bubbles, it allows you to exceed that bank amount. And that is how I was able to purchase these resources without having to upgrade my bank. But if you're trying to collect the coins off the top of your house, those are going to be wasted. You're not going to be able to collect them during the amount of time that you might need. So if you hit increased capacity, you can see that these are very expensive and you need quite a bit of them to upgrade. And this is just, I mean, I've only done like 4 or 5 upgrades if I remember right. This isn't very much. And the Omega gets very, very, very expensive. So what happens and how it works is you have these labs, and I'll click one to show you. So it says start Omega processing. I pay 7,000 coins. And it gives me an estimated time to process a canister. Once that's complete, I collect the canister and I put it into the research center, which it is going to need time, as you can see, to open. There are 3 different size canisters. They're small, which gives you 1 Omega item and 2 regular items. There's medium, which gives you 2 Omega items and I believe 3 regular items. And then there's the large one, which gives you 3 Omega items and, if I remember right, 4 or 5 regular items. Now, I don't even make medium or large canisters because I don't have any Omega homes. You can't choose what you make. You get random, totally random. So you pay 7,000, you might get a large one and you might get a small one. You never know. The reason I only get small ones is because I have a certain amount of homes built. And I did that because I only use Omega for COM. And if I'm doing contest of mayors and I have an assignment to collect 6 canisters, I don't want to collect a large one that's going to take me 12 hours to open. I want to stick with the small ones, and that way they most they ever take is like an hour. That being said, I am losing out on the Omega items though, because I'm never getting the medium or large. I'm only getting the small one. So I'm only opening 1 Omega item, but since I don't build Omega, I don't care. I just want it for COM. Now, you are going to have to, in order to unlock as many labs as I have, you're going to have to build up and meet the requirements to do so. So you are going to have to dabble just a little bit with the Omega for a while. And I know that sucks, but you do need the resources. And the resources, if you didn't know, the Omega resources go for all homes. So if you build Omega power plants, it will provide services to every home on your map. It's not just Omega homes. That's why I have them. Okay, let's hope that this went. Okay, cool. So like I said, you want to make sure it's somewhere around 1,000 a piece. I'm going to hit I'll do it, and then boom, that assignment is done. Collect. See, I have an upgrade Omega Buildings 1. I'm not going to do that assignment because that assignment is really low. I do have a produce and collect 17 protein bars. However, that one I'm not going to be able to complete because I don't have, I believe it's melons that I need. And I'm actually making melons for somebody in my group, so I'm not going to be able to do that one. And normally I would not tell you guys to do this, but I'm not trying that hard and calm right now, so I'm going to cancel it and wait for it to pop up. Let's say that you get an Omega assignment. You come over here, put down a new construction zone. It's only going to ask you for one Omega item. Okay. Boom. You got your Omega done. That assignment is completed. Okay. Now, if you're considering building Omega, there are a couple of things that you're going to want to know. These Omega upgrades, they get very, very, very expensive. The first one is one Omega item. The second one is 2. The third one is where it starts to get crazy, okay? And then so on. So what's going to end up happening is it's going to start asking you for like 10 Omega items and like 10 regular items. All different variations, obviously. And they will get very tedious, okay? It's going to get very time consuming because you have to turn your 7,000 regular coins into these canisters, and most of the time you either get a small one or a large one. You rarely get medium ones, and the medium ones are actually the better ones, especially if you're paying cash to open them. So that's the other thing I wanted to touch base on. Let's say that I was at 35 capacity and I have a task to open a certain amount of canisters. I either have to use up those Omega items, or what I can do is if I wait for the canister to get to the last 10 minutes or so, if I pay cash, it will allow me to exceed the amount of storage that I'm allowed to hold as long as I pay cash. If I run out on the timer, I will not be able to collect it until my storage falls below and I actually have room for it. So just keep that in mind. If you are considering building an Omega City, you're going to need to produce a lot of coins, okay? Because, like I said, it's a gamble every time you buy a canister. And these canisters are not cheap. I mean, just to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to do one row of canisters for an assignment is 35,000. And that's just the time to make the canisters. That's just the amount it costs to make them. Yeah, you get items in return, but shit, half the time they're like a tape measure. Okay, it's nothing substantial usually. The Omega homes do provide, and if you pull up your thing here, the service demand is very high. What this means is if you look at this one, it's very low. That is why when you turn your stuff into epics, you will notice that the service demand, see how my service demand is 144? If I was to take all of these homes that are on my map right now that are epics and change them into Omega, they would way exceed the amount that I have now. Okay, because the service demand is high and these are low. So you're going to want to keep that in mind, that if you build Omega homes, you're going to be buying a lot more services. Drones and control nets, they also, and what you do is you hit the government tab here. This is where your neobank is found. Your research lab, as you can see, costs 2,000 cash, which is ridiculous, by the way. Your control nets, 37,000 for this one. These are going to go up every time you buy them. Just like anything Omega. Just like And they don't cap out either, to my knowledge. To my knowledge, they just keep going, going, going. So omega is very, very expensive. If you see somebody's city and they have a ton of omega and they're not hacked, they did their, they worked their ass off, okay? The drones, as you can see, expensive. These drones don't have to be placed within a vicinity. They can be anywhere on your map. So if, like how I have my 4 drones here, if you watch very closely, you'll see them flying along your roads. And they don't have to be, like I said, within a certain vicinity. They will fly all the way over there and then all the way back. So the bare minimum that you're going to need for calm, let's say that you've chose to not build omega and you are deciding, okay, omega is not for me. I just want to do the bare minimum that I need for contest of mayors. You're going to want to unlock as many of these as you can, the canister labs. One of these will do, the thing that opens them, the research center. And you really don't need to upgrade your storage amount, actually, because as long as you're about 75% full on the amount that you're holding, it's going to pop up the little bubbles here. So if you're noticing that you're doing an assignment and those bubbles are not popping up, what's happening is you don't have enough in your storage. And if your storage is full and it's still not popping up, it might be wise to do an upgrade, because sometimes for whatever reason, it just, I don't know, I don't want to say it gets stuck, but for whatever reason it does, and it doesn't like to cooperate. So if you have a full omega storage, you haven't been able to get the little sim bubble to pop up, do it like an upgrade or whatever, and see if it will pop up after that. Also, close and open your game. That can typically help, but you also have to make sure that you have something omega around, like the drones or the control net, because it's not just going to pop up on any old house, okay? That being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I hope I've answered some of your guys' questions. If you have any questions for me on the omega, please go ahead, feel free to ask. I am more than happy to answer anybody's questions. I will try to get back to all of you. Oh, the other thing, what are neo-simoleons used for? So let's say that you're, like, besides the resources, let's say that you're not buying these, okay? You can go over here and you can use them in your Neo Mall and purchase, maybe you only need 1 remote to finish your assignment or whatever. Tokens are something popular that I recommend, buying if you've already got your resources. However, there's also Omega Rhodes. Omega Rhodes is the very last road that you can upgrade. It's it's the top one that you can get. As you can see, I have some Omega Rhodes. They're these ones here, the long white ones. They're very expensive. So what ends up happening, I think I might be able to show you guys. Okay, so that's at coins. So there's quite a few road upgrades. Like you go to Boulevard. I can't afford to do that for you guys. Okay, wait, I think this one is, okay, right here. So just this tiny stretch of street, if I want to upgrade it to Omega, is 12,000. Just that tiny little slot. So when you look through here and you see all these, the white ones here, I put out a lot of money for those, okay? So if you're looking at someone's city and they have a lot of those streets, that's pretty impressive, actually. I do eventually want to have my entire city Omega roads, but right now it's not a focus of mine. Right now I'm trying to get some of these things purchased on my other regional maps, and since the game doesn't allow you to store them and they go up in price, just having just one of them on my like sunny map, I need 60,000. All right, I am going to end this video like I said a few minutes ago. If you guys have any questions, like I said, please feel free to ask, and I'm going to try to get another video out for you guys today. I believe that one, if I can find my notes, I think that one was on designs, if I remember right. But yeah, until then, please subscribe, like, and check out my other Omega video because I'm sure I put a lot of good content in there for you guys as well.